How's it going, everybody, with another video? Today we got, if civilization collapsed, could you rebuild it? Now, I think this is a question for like a zombie apocalypse or some like some overrun world with just destroyed, or I guess collapsed. I'm gonna answer these questions as they get asked throughout the video. If you guys do enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, and let's get straight into it.
Imagine waking up in a world where modern civilization has collapsed. No electricity, no supermarkets, no internet. In such a scenario, how would we rebuild? Lewis Dark
This, like, honestly, this question is always asked in movies, documentaries, everything like that. Like, honestly, I don't think I would be able to do it alone. In order to rebuild, obviously you need a lot of people because you need to. I know it's kind of freaky, but you need to repopulate in order to rebuild where you are. But if it gets to a certain point that it's just really just too far gone, there's a point. Like I said, there's a point in where, like I said, if it's too far gone, you can't really do anything. Like in the Planet of the Apes, I think it's like a really long title. It's the War of the Planet of the Apes. Apes, I think so. And that takes place 1,000 years after they first, or 100 years after they got overrun in the world. That world is fucked. It's just way too over collapsed with civilization just being gone and destroyed. Except for that like one little radio station. I don't really know what it's called, but it's really bad. So in my opinion, you can rebuild, but it depends on how far it is gone and how far it is collapsed.
Nell's The Knowledge offers a roadmap to reconstructing society from the ground up. So let's dive into the 7 essential steps to reboot civilization. And if this kind of idea sounds familiar, it might be because I made a video about how useless most of us would be if we were dropped into the distant past about a month ago. I thought this one is a sequel of sorts. Also, I want to clarify right now that what I mean is essentially think of a global catastrophe, essentially post-apocalyptic in a sense. That is the type of world from which we're going to try and rebuild society from. So the immediate first step would be to prioritize shelter, warmth, and water. In the immediate aftermath of a catastrophe, securing shelter is key. Exposure to the elements can be as deadly as any other threat. You want to seek out existing structures that can be repurposed, but always assess their stability. And if none are available, constructing a basic shelter using natural materials like wood.
That's the thing. Like if I had previously, I've watched so many of the Outdoor Boys. Now having that like thought, I feel like if I had certain tools, I could make a certain shelter. But also, when is this during the year? If this is during the winter, oh, I'm cooked. If there's no shelter, no food, no water, it is like it's motivating to like work because if you don't if you don't find like food or shelter fast, you're cooked. So you have at least that motivation. But if this is like in the summertime or spring when the weather's like perfect and there's not a lot going on, I'll probably be able to. But I will also would be probably pretty lazy.
Leaves and mud can provide the necessary protection that you would need to survive in this environment.
These videos are fake. Those videos with like the guys in the forest, those are fake.
Warmth is critical, especially in colder climates. So learn to build efficient fires using available resources. Understanding insulation techniques such as using layers of clothing or creating windbreaks can really help retain body heat. And of course, water is crucial for survival, so natural sources like rivers and lakes might be contaminated, so boiling water is the reliable method to killing pathogens. Additionally, constructing simple filtration systems using sand, charcoal, and gravel.
See, that is just too complex in my opinion. There's so many things you have to do in order for the water to be perfect. Like, I'd be stupid and just be really thirsty to just drink water and then just die from like infection or dehydration or something
Would
like
help
that.
purify the water. Step 2 is to scavenge wisely and initiate farming. Initially, scavenging available resources like canned goods, tools, and seeds would be able to sustain you, but that's a temporary solution. Transitioning to agriculture ensures long-term food security. Understanding soil types, crop rotation, and irrigation techniques will be fundamental in establishing.
Yeah, having like the internet, you would be probably fine because you could look up a lot of things, but not having it and just having to know every single aspect of, like he said, the soil and the location and the water, just water needing to be in certain places. Like the only information that I know is in Minecraft when you have two lanes, or I guess a big plot of land in certain areas of a square that has water in it. That's all I know.
In establishing a reliable food source. Start by identifying fast growing, high yield crops suitable for your environment. Think beans, potatoes, and leafy greens as good options. Save seeds from each harvest to ensure future planting, and composting organic waste can enrich the soil, promoting better crop growth. Step 3 is to commit to intensive farming practices. Farming is labor intensive and requires dedication. Selecting appropriate crops for the climate, managing pests, and ensuring soil fertility are continuous tasks. Like I said before, implementing composting and natural fertilizers can enhance the yield, and over time, mastering these practices will be able to lead to a surplus in production, allowing for trade and community growth. I think it's also important to consider diversifying your crops to prevent soil depletion and reduce the risk of total crop failure. You want to incorporate livestock if possible, since animals can provide meat, milk, and labor. A successful farm requires constant attention and adaptation to changing conditions. Step 4 is to develop reliable heat energy sources. Beyond basic warmth, heat energy is essential for cooking, sterilization, and industrial processes.
I would be trying to like light a fire and just burn something and then just die from I would probably be stupid enough to like grab shelter and start a fire in there and then something catch fire and just all my progress just be lost.
Constructing
All my
efficient
progress would be
stoves and
lost.
kilns can aid these tasks. Exploring renewable energy sources like solar or wind can provide sustainable power solutions. Understanding and harnessing these energies will be pivotal in advancing technological capabilities. Wood gasification is a method where wood is converted into combustible gas, which can power engines. During World War II, over 1 million vehicles in Europe ran on wood gas due to fuel
What?
shortages. Learning such techniques can be invaluable in a post apocalyptic world. Step 5 is to maintain rigorous hygiene standards. Preventing disease outbreaks hinges on cleanliness. Regular hand washing, waste disposal, and clean living environments are non negotiable. Producing soap from animal fats and ash is a simple yet effective method, and educating the community on hygiene practices will safeguard health and ensure social stability. You want to construct latrines away from water sources to prevent contamination, boil or filter drinking water to eliminate pathogens, like I mentioned earlier. And you want to also encourage practices like regular bathing and cleaning of living spaces to reduce the spread of illness. And maybe also because nobody wants to live in a musty world. Step 6 is to provide effective medical care with basic technology. While advanced medical equipment may be unavailable, basic healthcare is achievable. Understanding herbal remedies, wound care, and sanitation can address common ailments. Training individuals in first aid and
See, doing all this by yourself, you would try your best, but and there would just be too many things that you would have to remember by yourself that you just wouldn't be able to do with like safely sealing wounds and no infections, crops, shelter, all those things. Maybe you could start doing it, but I feel like you would lose.
establishing protocols for emergencies will be life saving. Over time, rebuilding medical knowledge and infrastructure will enhance community resilience. Ideally, you would create a stockpile of medicinal plants known for their healing properties, learn to identify and prepare these remedies safely, establish a clean area for treating injuries, and isolate those who are ill to prevent the spread of illness. Quarantining. And step number 7 is to reconstruct timekeeping methods. Timekeeping is crucial for agriculture, coordination, and societal organization. Observing celestial patterns can aid in developing calendars. Constructing sundials or water clocks can
I
provide
feel like I could do a. I feel like I could do a sundial. I feel like I could somewhat do that, but I could not do like the patterns in the sky of stars, especially with the air pollution being so bad and not being able to see anything at night. It'd be bad.
daily time measurement.
Well, actually, the air pollution would go away considering all the fossil fuels not being in the air at such amount of time. Probably like in a good year, the whole like sky would probably be lit up.
Reestablishing a sense of
I
time will
hope.
bring structure and predictability to daily life. Understanding the seasons helps in planning agricultural activities. Regular timekeeping allows for scheduling tasks, meetings, and rituals, and it also fosters a sense of normalcy and order within the community. Now, if I could add one step to this, that step would be to add communication technologies. So while Dardanelle's 7 steps provide a solid foundation for rebuilding civilization, reestablishing communication is equally vital in my opinion.
I think that's the most vital for communication and technology because I feel like that's somewhat of a calming feeling to have technology in your world and just around you have total connection to those around you for, advice or um just overall, it's just a good thing to have. I mean, yes, people in the comments are be like, "Oh, well, it's kind of bad that you have to have communication in order to survive." Like, I mean, yeah, but I also don't. I don't want to make it sound like, "Oh yeah, we need technology in order to survive." It's definitely a crucial thing, but you don't like desperately need it. You want it.
Effective communication enables coordination, information sharing, and the reformation of social structures. Assuming there's an absence of a lot of modern infrastructure, simple communication methods can be invaluable. For instance, Morse code, which represents letters and numbers through combinations of dots and dashes, can be used to transmit messages over long distances using basic equipment. Constructing a rudimentary telegraph system with scavenged materials allows for the sending and receiving of messages, facilitating coordination among the survivors. Additionally, building a crystal radio, a simple receiver that requires no external power source, can allow you to pick up AM broadcast signals. In a collapsed society, this could be critical for receiving weather alerts, survivor communications, or emergency messages. In fact, similar foxhole radios were built by soldiers during World War II using blue razor blades and graphite to create functioning receivers. Even with limited tools, guides exist showing how to replicate these designs. I guess they wouldn't be as accessible in that scenario, but it's the fact that they are even made that show the simplicity of this technology. Overall, reestablishing communication networks not only aids in immediate survival, but also lays the groundwork for rebuilding societal structures. By sharing knowledge, coordinated efforts, and fostering a sense of community, communication technology plays a pivotal role in the resurgence of civilization. It's literally what makes humans better than every other animal on this planet. Our ability to share knowledge through our language and be able to teach our kin, it is second to none, but I digress. But yeah, rebuilding civilization is a monumental task, but with knowledge, resourcefulness, and collaboration, it's achievable. Lewis Dartnell's The Knowledge serves as a guide, illuminating the
I think I'm gonna leave this off here. All I need to survive is that book right there, because at least I'll have the knowledge of how to build a civilization in the aftermath of a cat cannibalism. I literally just read that off the book. I don't know what the word means, but if you guys did enjoy, it was pretty eventful. I think that was pretty fast. I think I need a long, more like a long video to understand really how to, survive if society collapses. Um, but yeah, if you guys did enjoy, like and subscribe, comment down below if you guys want to see anything specific, or play anything on my other gaming channel. But if you guys did enjoy, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And as always,